Listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. So I can't tell you where that all is, but it does happen. And that's one of the psychological tools they use. The hope is that you see it everywhere after they torture you for a while with it. And everybody goes, what kind of torture was that? Believe you me, repetitively over a period of time, like I told you, it's like a Chinese water torture. And no, they're not picking on criminals. They are the criminals, and they get bombs from criminals. They get a little bit of cash here and there, a little bit of drug here and there, a little bit of product. And that goes back and forth. They take a little bit out of evidence and give the drug dealers some money, and they give them some payment. So, again, the money is intoxicating, and the money that opiates have brought is more than intoxicating. They hate people that are real about narcotics eradication. Pretty much a scam what they're doing. Because what they're doing is they're taking out law enforcement officers that are real. It's not bucking the system. That's not the system. That's crime. That's criminal activity. And I'm not saying letter of the law where everybody has to go to prison. I'm not saying that at all. That's actually what they say. Believe you me. Everybody that's innocent has to go to prison. I mean, that's real. So again, remember, when they come into your community and they're engaged in certain activity, that activity is has a psychological effect. Most thinking people can figure out a certain percentage of that on how to act and how not to act. They're calling good evil and evil good, so they're reversing it. So the generation before this caused the psychological issue in this generation to cause people to go towards crime. There are very few choices in many people's lives. Even if you make choices, it's not the same as everybody else making the choices because their choices are evil. No, not evil. I guess they are evil, but are easy. Well, if you're evil, Satan will give you the go-ahead. Everybody will love you. The crooked cops will love you. Crooked corporate leaders will love you. The crooked politicians will love you. And that number increases, the number of crooked people within each organization over the years. So there was a time that, you could live side by side with the corruption, and the corruption was, kept somewhat under control. That's not happening anymore. Again, the corruption is the corruption investigator. So there's no longer any reining in of any type of corruption, even to the point of saying, hey, buddy, just, stop and things will be okay. But, don't continue on in your direction or we'll have to come back and we'll have to rule you down, all you, which means arresting a couple people. But that doesn't happen anymore because you don't get to be a corruption investigator anymore unless you're corrupt. But, of course, you see them arresting people, right? That's the people that the corrupt people say they're allowed to arrest. And actually might be a setup. Well, the fact that, you will not acknowledge that CIA level psychology can force somebody into crime is the biggest clue and obvious thing that's occurring in the world today to say that this is true. I mean, it's obvious that CIA techniques were defined by trillions and trillions of dollars and almost a century of research. I mean, you're ruined for yourselves in reality. There's a metaphysical world that I witness. If I witness you in another direction, the world would be completely different. And it was, remember? Because again, I didn't witness that you weren't doing it, but I witnessed that what you were doing didn't go beyond a certain point. Yes, it was degrading. Yes, it was very evil. Yes, it was very painful. Yes, it was harming. But yet, we live in a world of pain, harm, and evil. So again, it was in line with the rest of evil. Now, could have the world been even better? Oh, yes, of course. I'm actually in the wrong spot here, but I should have took a different turn, but I'll have to go this way, I guess. Well, they found it in another store, and I tried canceling the order. Essentially, what happens is, I thought same-day delivery was somebody that like worked for Best Buy, where they had a driver that would pick stuff up at the store and deliver it. They probably would do well to do that, because I think people would be more apt to do it if they had a Best Buy employee that delivered it. I'm not trying to write shipped out of the picture, but essentially what's happened is Ship works out of an app. Like, well, I don't remember the other company that I used to order from. They used to pick stuff up for me in Amarillo when I could barely walk, and then I could walk again, but it was very painful after that. So they deliver it, but it's usually in an app. This is where the disconnect comes. Best Buy's not in the app. You order from Best Buy, and then they arrange for a pickup. So what probably happened this morning is they did the round robin of the stores, and 2 of the stores actually didn't have it, which I found out about last night. It doesn't make it innocent. It takes 24 hours for the inventory to catch up and all that, or 48 hours, whatever it is. So that's not a big deal, but somebody could have went ahead of me and purchased all that. That's happened before. So it's not that that doesn't happen. Even that didn't happen. What happened was when the order was getting late, they didn't call me back. So I went over to the store, and the store was kind of like weird, because they were saying, well, he's picking, he didn't get to yours yet, I guess. You know, it's like a guess. And then they said, after I said, well, there's none in the store, he goes, well, maybe that's why he hasn't picked it. And I'm thinking, well, you're supposed to tell me that, you know? I still was nice to them all and all that, right? I was being, you know, as nice as I can be about the whole thing, and that was very nice, actually. And she said, well, you can go down and get it at the other store. Just cancel it. I canceled it, went down the other store, they didn't have it. They supposedly had 3 at Memorial, and they supposedly had 1 or 2 down at Meg. So after that, I waited till like about 11, and I'm like, well, this don't make sense. They opened up at 9. I'm not getting any messages, because I've purchased things from Best Buy, and you get the thing. Well, we got it. It'll be about 15 minutes. All night it said we're packaging it. We're packaging. So it's a standard statement, which is really confusing. And I guess Best Buy doesn't want the customer to realize the truth of how this works. It's not being packaged. Nobody's doing anything till first thing in the morning, and then they'll go look for it on the shelf. Or we're preparing shipment. That's just saying, something like that. So I get to the point where I find it, I have to pay even more money for it. Besides the $6 ship fee, I have to pay like $16, but I have some overnight shipping that'll get here by Friday. Still take a couple days, but it'll get here. So I order from them in New York. They were easy to cancel, thank God. But first, I spoke to the woman at Best Buy. Now, she did at a certain point say, well, maybe you should just wait till the end of the day and see if it cycles, and I'm thinking, I want to get this thing. What are the chances of being in a store? And I said, I really don't want somebody driving a long distance for $5. And I'm not interested in tipping someone $10. So I'm like, this is not really a good system. It's not what I thought was going to happen. I didn't want to deal with an outside delivery person. I myself have a answer for and they'd get more orders this way. Have inside people deliver. Do like a mini Amazon. Stock in a warehouse like Walmart in Santa Fe, all over the city, kind of, or in the city. Some warehouse space, and I guess that costs money, and you're all trying to, make as much as you can and all that. But if you were to actually have that stuff in stock, have a better control of your stock, and have somebody that drives around actually replenish your store. So what you actually have to do is have a small warehouse with a few extra ones in the city. And then any store that runs out gets given the new product. But you got to do better with your stock unless somebody went ahead of me and purchased it out from underneath me. If they didn't do that, then you need to really hire somebody every day doing stock, analyzing the stock and updating it. And you should be able to update it like instantly. So no, it's not a big deal. It's very easy to do that. You just got to build something that does that. And it's not that expensive, believe me. You just got to manage your system better. So what happens is there's a guy and a gal and a guy and a gal, whatever it is. You can even have a couple small stocking centers, and your drivers manage it. You can have even a supervisor, whatever you want to do, but you can have like these storage spots, and the drivers go to the storage spot and pick it up. But meanwhile, besides delivering in the city, they can stop by the store and replenish the stock in the store. Because what's happening is people are getting frustrated. Because usually Amazon doesn't. Right. You could actually probably do a few hour delivery thing. Now, I don't know what it would cost you and everything else that you had to do to put it together. Or go into the app. Well, Best Buy should be in the Ship It app or something. Or, I know they're trying to do the best they can because they don't want to relinquish that control to an outside entity because they're trying to say, okay, we want to take care of our customers, right? We don't want, worry to think about Shipt having to, be the face for our brand or something like that. But you can kind of do mini Amazon. It doesn't have to be big. I mean, you only have a few stores in each city. You have a small, warehousing locations, maybe a couple throughout the city, and you have drivers. Like, remember the old auto parts delivery? I guess they still do it, huh? I mean, I don't pay you nothing to do that, right? I don't know. You got to be. I mean, some people would rather work driving than they do sitting in the store, Right. I don't mean to take away from Shipt, but Shipt wasn't actually built for what's happening with Amazon. I mean, what's happening with Best Buy, because nobody can control the order. We thought maybe because we thought Shipt controlled the order at one point. Somebody I spoke to, so we tried to see if we. So the idea was cancel with Shipt, and then it would cancel over there. So what they did is they actually packaged it like an hour and a half later, and it was getting ready to get picked up, but there's nobody to pick it up at that point. But there was no way to cancel it. So that's not really a good way to run the thing, right? So when people run into frustration, then they'll go to Amazon or somewhere else. Like I went to New York, so I get it overnight. There's a couple places in New York that, I mean, you got to pay a little extra, but they'll get it to you over, free. If it wasn't like this time season of the year, it would definitely be overnight. A bunch of Jewish guys, I think. And they all hate Kanye. Jim, You'll see people from the gym at certain torture you. Nobody, you have to see people outside of the gym. Oh wait, did I go too far? I think I did. Oh no, okay, right. I have to go down the. I mean, it's now, yeah. So what they do is they ruin that flow. That is psychological stressor. It doesn't. Oh, if you weren't a criminal, it wouldn't bother you. That was ruining every social aspect of your life, right? Anyway, gotcha. So they ruin the flow, and that's going to mess with your. It's all A type stuff. It's all black site stuff. It's all Gitmo. It's all stuff that nobody talked about happened in Iraq and Afghanistan. This is what these people are all doing to American citizens. That's why you have violence. The reaction to it is violence. I'm metaphysically violent, I guess you could say, but I still give it to God, so God's really the violent one. And no, I'm not confused about who God is. I'm not like all of you that worship Satan and say God doesn't want people to be slothful. Satan hates Jesus because he took that slothful thing away. Unless you're like a big, of course you shouldn't be slothful. These people are victims, man. Victimhood is in Ezekiel 34. If you want to know where it comes from. Because the prophet says Trumping again. I believe some of that's orchestrated. I don't believe that's all. Some of those are special operators. They're there to crash Trump while making it look like you support Trump. So they mess up the whole flow of your life because you never see anyone. But they'll always, every so often, bring one person around to do something to you. Like when they crashed my. Okay, let's go back before when I was in Espanola. The one girl that I think was an informant for them may have been an agent. She would show up every so often. And she would show like I'd look for something, and they would say stuff like, "Oh, he's looking for a pressure cooker," and they know I'm a cook, right? So I'm looking for a pressure cooker. So they want to put shit on you, psychological shit. So you're not looking for a pressure cooker. You're trying to build a bomb or something like that. But it's okay to do that once, every 20 years or something, or once every 10 years. But it's nonstop. So by the time I got to that point in my life to them doing that in Espanola, they had been doing it for I mean, they must have been doing it 30 years, at least. Could have been happy in the hunt first. I'm not sure. But of course, but then the internet wasn't there, so it wasn't as sublime. So this woman, right? I invited her over to eat, and I had a sofa that was a bed. But it was a sofa. I had to build some. So I was going to show her some stuff on the internet, and we never really got to it because I asked her to sit down, and she didn't want to sit down, so I could tell she wasn't real, right? It wasn't like her or anything, unless they told her that. I don't know. But she used to always wear sunglasses, and I'm like, "You work for the FBI, and those are cameras." I said, "Oh no, I have an eye infection." Oh yeah, right. How much they paying you for that eye infection? But she showed up when I tried to buy at Walmart, standing in front of the pressure cookers. I kind of just blew it off, but it's still like you're not like a patriotic American demolition expert from the 101st and the Big Red One. You're a criminal, It's just, that's their shit. Even though they're the criminal and they know it, they just gotta use that criminal black site technology on everyday citizens. So then, I got to Santa Fe. You don't see a darn person, but the people but you go to Walmart, they're operating you. And they're taking you through the paces of something you believe you have to go through to have a normal life. All right, I know what's going on. I can't change it while I'm driving, and I'm in a turn lane here. So you go there, and you believe that you have to go, and that's part of their black site technology. They know they're putting that into your mind. There's no doubt that you have to do what they want to have a little bit of peace in your life. And as time progresses, you get less and less peace. But you're still stuck in that motion. Like right now, they're trying to rule me into doing what they want while they torture me, and I say nothing. Oh, they'll burn in hell, believe me. They'll burn in hell. Half their family's there already. They grow up in these families. They do this outside the government before they get in the government. That's where it came from. Didn't start in the government. It started with devil criminal families who took over the Marshal Service and the FBI and local police and state police and intelligence. John Gotti's an angel compared to these freaking idiots, these freaking criminals, these freaking devils, these freaking sex fiends. They're out there sexualizing people and changing their sexuality using this stuff. And then going, oh, that's a pervert over there, while they're doing their orgy stuff still. They don't have the decency to not even be sexual like that while they're pointing at everyone else that they change. Garbage. Filth. Cops, my ass. Pieces of shit. Working with the drug dealers to addict your kids to heroin while they come along and go, look, we got a big fentanyl blast. Yeah, tell us we're wonderful. Give us way with everything. Tell us we're wonderful and beautiful and have sex with us. We're saving you from all the sexual people, so aren't I wonderful? Oh, you wanted to have sex with me. You know that. We just, we have special feelings for you. You want to see grooming. Look at what cops, FBI agents, DHS, marshals, look what they do to the women that they're supposedly, quote unquote, protecting. 30 fucking years of it, fuck you all. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, straight up to Yeshua God. Whoa! So yeah, they ruin the whole social flow of your life and then say, well, we've given him openings. He just doesn't seem to want to take them. So what they're doing is they disappeared from stalking me, thinking I won't buy this or I'll return my GoPro or something like that. They were trying to get me not to buy the GoPro. They succeeded before. I mean, I don't have money, and I try not to buy those things. But again, they interrupted my security. They know I spend money. They're trying to get me to spend money, so they screwed up my security and knew I would buy. Every one of those pieces of shit that broke into my apartment, they're fucking going to hell, and their family's going to fucking hell. Believe you me. Wow, Shael, Mael, Fael, Gael, Schatten, Wiese, Kandel, Packendel, fuck shit, bah. Whoa. That means fuck shit. Whoa! I'd like to see him roll on the ground dead tomorrow, but I'm not going to do it. God will. Whoa! Well, stay peaceful, and I mean that. Praise God.